I've got another one of those jobs today. And someone crashed into my van, so thanks for that. But that's a story for another day. Really inconvenient though. So what we have today is, I'm in another detached garage, only this time there is no duct like there was in the other video. If you haven't seen that one, I'll leave a link in the description below. Check it out. We have a 10mm supply into this garage already, which is great, but we don't have a Cat 5 installed, and we need that for the load management. So in this consumer unit here, we have the supply cable and we have two others. One is doing an old hot tub supply, which is now redundant, and the other one is doing the electric gates. So inside here we have a type AC RCD and some MCBs. We're going to take this out and put in a new metal fuse box consumer unit with surge protection, and metal board's better than a plastic board. So first things first, I've turned this off. I'm going to rip this out and see what we got. So this board's actually quite tidy for a change. We have all the SWAs earthed, which is nice to see. We have the supply. This is the old hot tub supply, and we'll do something similar with that just to leave it disconnected. This is the Harvey that I'm going to be using inside the house, and I'm going to be using this and connecting it to a CT, and I'm going to be pairing this up with the Zappy. So this will be a good little walkthrough and a guide to show you how this is done if you find yourself in a similar situation where the garage supply is suitable but you just can't get a Cat 5 there. This is going to get you out of trouble, and I'm going to show you how. So where this consumer unit was done properly for a change, and all the SWAs are banjoed up, and the SWAs were made without any slat, that means that I don't really have to plane a new consumer unit to put the glands wherever I want. So what I'm going to do is take this and use it as a template, like that. And then what that's going to allow me to do is I'll mark the holes and then drill new holes, so the armoured will go back in the new board as they did on the old board. The only issue I'm going to have with this is where this fuse box has got pre-knockouts. Ideally I'd want these holes further back, but I'm concerned about knocking these out when I'm drilling, so I've had to bring it forward. But the result of that is that when I put my buzz bar cover on, I know it's going to invade that space a bit where the cables come through, so I may have to notch a bit of that out to suit the cables. But as long as I can get this back on, there's no problem with doing that. It's one of those problems you just need to get around. I dropped a nut, I can't find it anywhere, and I don't have any spares, and I can't warrant a trip to the wholesalers for one nut. Found it. I prepared 3 fly leads because I'm going to earth back up my banjos for the armoureds, and it's a good idea just to get these made off before you do up the nuts on the glands. Okay, so that is the board now buttoned up to where we started at the beginning. Now I can crack on getting my EV Ultra cable installed to the charging position. And I've managed to get that buzz bar cover on without a fuss. The only real issue that I can foresee at the minute is I need to get a CT clamp around my live conductor in here, and it is not very long. I haven't got a lot of length left on it. As you can see, the bend's on it really tight, so I'm going to struggle getting that CT clamp on it, but we'll face that problem when we come to it. I changed my mind on putting that job off. It's inevitable, so I've just dealt with it now. And now we have the CT clamp on around the live conductor feeding this board, and we're going to set that to monitor on a Zappy, and I'll show you why and how to do that later. But what it's basically going to do is protect the cable supplying this board. Bad news for me, it's flat, and I've tried jump starting it off my customer's car. I've got one of those battery packs that you can use. I've tried jump starting off that, won't happen. So RAC are coming out again. I'm gonna have to get this battery changed on this. Now I've got to be a little bit careful where I mount this charger because on the other side there's loads going on. Let me show you. So I need to bring my cable down here, but my back entry is going to fall around here, so I need to measure this really carefully to make sure I don't hit anything in there. So the bit I know you're interested in, on my Cat 5, on my EV Ultra, I'm using the blue and the white cores today. I'm going to be putting the blue in CT1 positive and the blue white in the negative. You don't have to use these colours, this is just my preferred for the monitor setting. And then inside this consumer unit, I've got this CT stripped back, and here's my EV Ultra, and I'm going to put the red with the blue and the black with the blue white. And that's that bit done. Now I'm going to crack on with the testing. You don't need to see that, and then I'll show you how to set up the Harvey, and then we'll pair everything up. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go into menu, and we're going to go down to other settings. We're going to go down to advanced, and then in here we have CT configuration. We're going to select that, and CT1 at the minute is on grid, and that is the CT that's in the garage consumer unit. We're going to select that, and we're going to change that to monitor. Say OK, and then on the group limit, I'm going to set that to 32 amps. Now what that's going to do is protect this circuit that's being fed from the house. The next thing we're going to do is go into link devices, select that, and we're going to go into pairing mode. Now we're going to go in the house and set up the Harvey with the CT. So this is the Harvey, and it looks like this. All you need to do is take the cover off. I don't bring a screwdriver with me, but it's loose, good. And pop the end of it through one of those holes in the bottom there. This cable's a little bit snug, so watch out for that. So once it looks like that, on the back of the Harvey you have 3 CT terminals, and we're going to be using CT1. And they're just lever connections, and we're going to go red into the positive and black into the negative. So if I can do this and show you, just like that, and then just pop the cover on. And then what you need to do with this in here, sorry my tripod's not high enough really, is the live conductor coming out of the meter. You need to put this on it with the arrow in the direction of the current flow. And then once that's on, what you'll notice is that there's a green light flashing. Now all you need to do is that pair button there, you need to push it once, and then you've got about 30 seconds I think to make it back to the charger. You see a blue light, and we need to get back. And then back at the Zappy now, we're going to go advanced and get to link devices, pairing mode, and there's the Harvey there. Just press the plus button and select that. And then it'll do a device updating. So now that's connected. So then what you do is you go back into devices, scroll down to Harvey, select that, and then we'll go down to CT1, select that, and go along to grid. Now that's going to monitor the grid. Simple as that. We have the van running. I've been saved by my brother-in-law, Chris McNair, you legend. So back at the charger, what you can see is the CT in the house is measuring the load in the house and the garage, which is 0.4 kilowatts. Now if we go into menu, we're going to go down to other settings, advanced, we're going to go into supply grid, network, and we're going to make sure that is set to 60 amps. So now what we have is the CT in the house on the Harvey is doing the load management like it normally would, and the CT in the garage consumer unit, that is set at 32 amps, and that's going to protect the cable coming to the garage. It could be set a little bit more, but I'm sticking with 32. And what that really does is ensures that if the car charger's working and there's any other load going on, we're not going to overload that cable. So it will just ramp down the car charger till the load sits at around 32 amps. Just trying to protect the whole installation, and this is the only charger that has the facility to do this with wirelessly, and it works with radio frequency, and you've got a range of about 30 meters, and it's pretty good. It's never let me down yet. Now there's absolutely no possibility that I can get a Cat 5 from the garage to the house. There's just no way. And it's all well and good saying, well, I'd have dug a trench, or I'd have done this and I'd have done that. Every job has a budget, and unless you're willing to spend your own money, which I'm not, then it's not going to happen, because this client had a budget. I had to meet that budget. It's not an infinite bucket of money, so this is the best that I can do in the situation that I'm in. Finally, the last thing we're going to do is try and pair this up with the internet. My client has advised me that they've put a booster at this end of the house, so it might reach, and I'm finding it actually a bit of a nightmare to find an installation where the Wi-Fi doesn't reach, to show you how to set that up, but we'll give it a go right now. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is try and connect this internet up. So we're going to go into settings on the phone, Wi-Fi, and search for the My Energy, which is there. It's going to ask a password. We go in menu, and then we scroll down to other settings and internet. Select Wi-Fi, and that's the password I want to enter here. Once you've done that, just say join. I know there's some light reflecting here, sorry about that. And then once that's connected, it'll ask you to enter a new password. Just put what you like, make a generic one if you like, so all your passwords and all your zappies are all the same. And then once you've done that, just say set. And then once that's done, it's going to look for the network that you want. Get your customer's little card here and input the Wi-Fi password. And once that's done, say connect. And then we'll see what happens. And once again, the zappy, as ever, has connected because it's so reliable. The video's not over yet. I've got one more thing to do. And that is try out my new Brother printer for the first time on site. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on and then hopefully join this to this. So I need to push the Wi-Fi button, I believe, which has left me a little Wi-Fi signal there. So hopefully it's going to pop up on here, which is there. So we're going to select that. Great. And I'm going to scroll down to distribution board. What I'm looking for today is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 main switch right hand side, which there isn't. So we're going to go for a 10, then I'll cut it down, I guess. 10 way main switch right hand side. So we're going to go there, scroll along, main switch, that's fine. Text 7, we're going to put EV charger, done. Text 8, we don't want anything, so I'm just going to delete that. And text 9, delete that. Text 10, I'll delete that and just cut this down. I'm just getting the hang of this. There's probably a better way of doing this. And then hopefully we'll say print, and then there we have that. Hopefully that will fit nicely. My sticker skills need improving. And there we go. That looks way better than what I was doing before. Subscribe to my channel.